basically we wanted a house to live in that was as cheap as possible, as eco-friendly as possible to make it cheap, which could free up our time to do stuff that we really were passionate about, like Jon's paintings, like gardening.
In an ideal world, we wanted a passive house, something that was low impact and very, very cheap to run.
Thomas took a much more gentle approach and...
Yeah, a lighter touch.
Yeah,
Tried to work with the trees,
yeah.
which is why we like Thomas's approach to design. You know, it's a lighter, more sensitive touch.
It felt like the design really had to be about the trees rather than about the house. And so something that really complemented that rather than just getting a standard box and kind of shoving it in the middle of the site.
And he got us and we got him, I think. I felt we were on the same wavelength right from the start. Yeah.
On the first visit, when he came to site, he climbed up in a tree and with a bit of a rope and peered across through the foliage and the other trees and said, that's the view you want. So we sort of orientated the house around that and worked out from that point.
And there is something wonderful about that, at the treehouse in Dursley, you're really getting within a few feet of the main trunk of the tree and the tree's really there, which really gives the impression that you're sitting up in the tree. Whether you don't have to actually be in the tree to really give that feel. And that's also, I think, true looking at the treehouse or at some of our other projects from a distance. And as you approach them, they're really nestled in amongst the landscape and in amongst the foliage.
All the decking is not at the same angle as the house, it's actually offset, and it effectively winds its way through the trees, so it's that sensitivity to its environment. We'd have never thought of it ourselves, would we?
No.
We always live out here. During the summer, the sun never enters the building because of the design. So we never overheat. When it's 30 degrees outside, it's 22 inside. There's all these things, it's just a veranda, but no, it's working on so many different levels, aesthetically, and it functions as a shade and to allow the sun in when we need it. And we just never get over 25 degrees because those calcs have been done and because we have the shading, which is aesthetically pleasing, but also works brilliantly because you can sit on your deck in the sun or the shade and be in the sun in the winter.